What's up everybody, Kinetic here and welcome back to Diablo 3 builds. In this new video series I'm going to be talking about some of the best ways you can build your characters in the upcoming 2.6.1 patch for Season 12. We're going to start by looking at some of the ways that you can build your class based on a gear set for solo speed runs capable of farming on Torment 13 difficulty. These may not necessarily be the best builds in the game for speed running, but they are fun, fast, and will satisfy your need for speed with the highlighted set. These builds are especially designed for players with a low Paragon point count and few if any ancient legendary items. So, if you're already rocking a respectable amount of either of those, these builds will perform even better. Let's get started.
Are you ready? Then your trial begins.
The Amazing Minion Master! Sounds like a Stan Lee title for a hero in a Marvel comic. Instead, it's what this nerd likes to call his Witch Doctor builds in Diablo 3. I've been doing Amazing Minion Master builds since Reaper of Souls came out, and this is one of the most fun and certainly the fastest version I've put together yet. It's based on the Helltooth Gargantuan build, and for speedrunning purposes, it uses the Mama June weapon set to speed through areas in chicken form like nothing else in D3. I mean, whirlwinds, like tumbling demon hunters, nothing can keep up with this build. It's pretty amazing. The problem when trying to make a build like this, though, with low Paragon point count and ancient legendary items, is how do you stay alive? It's pretty squishy. Well, after hours and hours of testing, I've tweaked this build to this collection of gear and skills that results in a more proactive style. It doesn't just rely on pets fighting for you. You have massive amounts of power and enough survivability to ensure that you don't vaporize as soon as you start encountering elite packs. The general execution of the build is simple. You start off by precasting your pets, like your zombie dogs and your gargantuan. Pop open your rift or, just start exploring, right? Transform into chicken form and you will immediately notice that you're now flying at a crazy speed. You go from there and start hunting. Once you find a juicy target, you trigger the explosion skill that you now have with Angry Chicken, and this will turn you back into the Witch Doctor. Immediately cast Wall of Death to enable the damage buff from the Helltooth set. This is very important. You gotta trigger this as quickly as possible. After that, though, I mean, it's pretty simple. Just watch out for enemy-like skills, like for example, elite packs might start casting Frozen or, Molten on the ground, poison, stuff like that. This stuff will tear you apart, so you gotta keep your eyes open for that. But otherwise, you can just let your pets do the majority of the damage now for you. We also have Paragon to help round up our enemies and give us some crowd control. And my personal touch, because we have so much freaking mana and nothing to do with it for most of the builds that I see out there, I like to take Acid Cloud. This gives us some range in case we want to, like I said, snipe ranged enemies that are trying to, fight at us from afar, or if we happen to want some range ourselves from the heat of the action, take a few steps back from the spinning beams of arcane death, right? You can do that and still participate in the fight, throwing out these acid clouds, and it just makes for a more fun and, like I said, proactive playstyle rather than just standing around waiting for your pets to kill everything. Within a few seconds, in most cases, or even if that, things can die pretty quickly. All you gotta do is just basically pick up your loot and repeat the process. It's very simple and straightforward gameplay. Some of the keys to making this work are in the gear we wear and how we wear it. For the build, I use 5 pieces of the Helltooth set in my head, shoulders, chest, legs, and feet, with the Royal Ring equipped to give me the full set bonuses. The missing piece is the gloves, where I put Tasker and Theo for increased attack speed. For the accessories, I take the Endless Walk set of Amulet and Ring, Witching Hour belt, good old Nemesis bracers for the extra elites at shrines and pylons, and of course, in the weapon in hand, we've got the knife and chicken. The gem in my helmet is diamond for the cooldown reduction, and in general we want to try and get about as much cooldown reduction as we can. We don't really need a ton of it. We have some other things to help us out for cooldown reduction. When it comes to general reroll priorities, we definitely want to put gargantuan damage above cooldown reduction, or really almost anything else. So if you have a choice of like re-rolling, for example, something into the offhand chicken, you definitely want to ensure that you have gargantuan damage first before you try to get something like cooldown reduction. For the rest of the gems, I have Bane of the Trapped, Enforcer, and a big key to our survival for this build, and for a lot of the builds that I've been putting together for T13, low Paragon, low Ancient Count builds, is the Gizzard gem. This green beauty helps tremendously in shielding us from some of the first big blows that could otherwise kill us. It gives us some time for the rest of our skills and our evasive maneuvers to do the rest for us. In the Kinetic cube, I have Furnace, Jerem's Mask, and Shortman's Finger. However, feel free to throw in Tasker and Theo into the armor slot if you feel like you have a better Jerem's Mask, or just whatever works best for your build. Now let's take a closer look at the skills, runes, and passives. We have no need for a generator, and even with Acid Cloud being thrown out all over the place, we still have plenty of mana with this build. So instead, this is where I put my Wall of Death with the Communing with Spirits rune. Next, for the Piranha skill, I take, of course, Piranado. This is a great crowd control skill. Acid Cloud with Slow Burn, Cold rune, goes well as cold damage with our Wall of Death rune, and also Gargantuan with the Humongoid Cold rune. And finally, for the rest of our active skills, I take Leeching Beasts rune for Zombie Dogs, gives us a lot of health regen, and of course, we are going to need Angry Chicken rune for Jinx. For the passives, I take Midnight Feast and Spirit Vessel, and both Confidence Ritual and Grave Injustice work really well to give us a great bonus damage and cooldown reduction together as a reward for fighting enemies up close. Now, it may go without saying, but I must stress that you try and remain close range with your enemies for this build. It might get scary sometimes, and certain enemy types and certain powers are going to cause you some stress, but all the tools are here to keep you alive and crushing your enemies. You just got to stay on your toes and execute them properly. That's going to wrap it up for my Amazing Minion Master Witch Doctor build for the upcoming 2.6.1 patch. We're still probably another month away from this patch in Season 12. Till then, I want to know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Let me know what your thoughts are on my Minion Master build. If you have any questions, or if you have something maybe that you would do differently, constructive criticism is always welcome. Click the like button to support Diablo 3 builds here on my channel, and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the next video. Thanks again for watching. This is Kinetic, and I'll see you next time.